Hello, my name is Zlatan Jaranovic and I'm the social science and history teacher here in Internationella Engelska Skolan of Örebro. I was asked to talk about my own experiences regarding water. Since we're in Sweden right now, it's not that interesting maybe to speak about issues about water in Sweden, because Sweden is one of the richest and well-infrastructured countries in the world. To understand the shortages of water, to understand the importance of water, I had to speak about my own experiences during the war in my home country of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Back in 1992, I was 14 years old. I was born and raised in this small town of 35,000 residents. The town itself was situated on two rivers with a wonderful waterfall, as well having two mountainous lakes nearby, which provided the water for its citizens. I lived in an apartment complex, having fun with my mates, going to school and such. So basically I was living a good life with all the commodities in it until the 1992. Here you can see actually some clips of water in my hometown. You can see clips of lakes I was talking about. You can see the old town and the waterfall here, as well the clip from Google Earth, so you know how it looked like from above. Well, what happened in 1992? Well, I will not to go into the politics and reasons of war, but basically I would just tell you that my hometown was surrounded and shelled by Bosnian Serbs and Serbian army. What they did more basically was to cut the supplies, cut the electricity, and most important, cut the running water. Since you already know, for a city to function you have to have water. That's necessity basically. And being a human being living in a civilized part of Europe, you suddenly thrown back into Middle Ages. And you had to change your way of living then. You had to experience how it is to basically live without so much of water supply or food, for that matter. When it comes to water, the nature provided still. My hometown had running water for centuries. We had old reservoirs, old pipes and wells and such, but the problem was how to get to these. Where I lived in the apartment complex, we actually took our canisters, took our buckets each morning because of the fog that surrounded our town, which made it easier for us to avoid sniper fire. We went to the wells and we got our water, which was basically each day around 35-40 liters, which is basically the amount that United Nations consider to be a minimum for human survival. What you do with that water? Well, you build your own reservoir basically. You use your bathtub as a water reservoir. You put the water there for dishes, you put the water there for toilet flushing, you put the water there for bathing and such. And you use the water with the chlorine tablets in for cooking and drinking. Basically, you had to rationalize your water supply. You maybe do laundry every month. Maybe we used water for like every 2 weeks to wash our hair. You use water in a way which you couldn't imagine. You could use the water short amounts of water before. The shortage of water meant that even people come closer together actually. In my apartment complex we helped each other. We helped the elderly with the water supply, we cooked together, and the general feeling was, I would say, better. These kind of conditions continued until late October, when we were forced out of my hometown Jajce by a major Serbian offensive, and those people living in, civilians, had to take old mountains road out of the city to the safer areas. My experience of shortage of water ended there, basically. But many of inhabitants of Bosnia and Herzegovina continued to have shortages of water between 92 and 95. And here I mean the inhabitants of capital city of Sarajevo, which were actually surrounded as well for 3 years. I hope I helped you a bit with your water project, and I look forward to more contact with you. Thank you.